minute because I'm gonna edit it away. It might be going on some new website I'm doing, or some new website some guy is doing. So I've been writing for him, so he said we could post it on there.
Yeah, I seen what you posted on Facebook. That article you wrote. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just it's some college kid. He hadn't really. I was gonna say
we're gonna be taking over. That's all I know. C&BSports gonna be taking over.
It just started, so I don't know nothing about it. But he just asked me if I want to do it. I said, all right, cool. I said I'll do it when I got time. I said because I got a game tomorrow. Are you still doing games or no?
Not this fall.
Gotcha.
Maybe when the playoffs start.
Gotcha. All right, I forgot we're live. All right, if you do join, we're about to go record for the podcast. We're about to record the college football podcast. Just give us just a minute. We'll start in just a second. I'm gonna play the intro.
Somebody already. I
probably Forrest.
Apple Podcast.
Probably Forrest. Forrest Hayes. How you doing, Forrest?
Forrest Hayes. Welcome to the chat, bud.
But yeah, we're gonna record here in just a second. Did you pick out games, Josh, or no?
No, I.
Oh, well, the motherfucker left.
All right. Appreciate y'all watching the video. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Check out Mulligan's Unlimited.
I don't think Preston picked out games either, so whichever one we're the only ones prepared.
We're doing great, Force. How you doing, Coach Hayes? That's Coach Hayes right there. You hear that, son?
Is he still coaching?
No, he's going to Georgia. He'll be with Kirby.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, my bad.
Wrong button.
Josh should have with the.
But no, you could just give us your thoughts about the games. If you got any other big games you think about, that's what we're doing. We're doing top 10 games. We'll probably get your thoughts on Alabama and stuff too when we do it. So.
Okay, yeah. No, I shouldn't be breaking up anymore. I got fiber internet now.
Hell yeah. All right. What you sipping on over there? Did you get
Sweet
dinner?
tea. Yeah, I got
food.
Oink Joint.
Oink Joint. Is that an actual name or?
Yep, that's what it's called, the Oink Joint.
Let me get $75 for a damn barbecue sandwich, I bet.
Probably cheap.
No, we all three of us ate for $40.
Oh, ain't bad. All right, boys and girls, we're about to force this fiber internet. All right. If you do join, we're about to go live for our podcast. In just a second, I'm going to play the intro, and then we're going to record. So.
Sorry, Graham.
I was going to put South Carolina in the thumbnail, but I don't know. I just threw teams on there, to be honest.
Hey, we got through.
It was going to be South Carolina.
Clemson. In our intro, we got through that Cox by 90 bitch in the intro.
Yeah, I will change the intro some, but I don't know what I want to put in there, just depending on. We'll see. Oh, go boy! All right, let's start. Y'all ready?
It's hot.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it is a little hot. Yeah, just because they play Florida, that's why I put it in there. I'm sorry. I apologize. I think I put Clemson beside Clemson and South Carolina. Anyway, you'll be excited. Hey, Graham, just watch the games. And you're gonna be excited in a minute. Okay.
Football schedule.
Okay. Here we go. You good, Josh? All right. Hold on. What do I do with my damn phone? All right. I'm playing the intro and then we starting. So I've got to remember how to do that. Josh, I hope this is not loud. I don't know if this is playing through your speaker, but
you didn't know?
Ocho Cinco, was he a quarterback?
Your ass better call somebody.
His team hasn't won a national championship since before he was even born.
Diggs gone for the touchdown. Caldwell Pope. How about that one, baby? Let's go. Come on.
Come back, hey.
I love college football.
Go Dogs.
Go Tigers.
Roll Tide, roll. RMFT. Roll motherfucking Tide.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the College Football Weekly Matchup. Our top 10 games are here. We did this last year. We're going to do that again. We're picking our top 10 games, the games we're most excited for. At least some of us are. Josh is back. He's been busy doing some other things, expecting a kid on the way. I don't know. I don't want to give him too much business, but, Josh, how was your off season, and how much are you looking forward to college football this season?
Yeah, it was an eventful off season, with work and stuff going on with work, and now we're expecting a baby. So I don't know how much I'll be able to join on the podcast this fall, but I could be a guest picker or whatever, a guest on the show. Definitely looking forward to the college football season, and it's right around the corner, man. It's about to happen.
Gotcha. I'm going to pretend like I just heard a word you just said. Let me fix my headset. Give me 1 second. All right. Hold on. I think it got knocked out because you Frankenstein foot. You can hear him.
Bryson's always got jokes, man. He's a clown.
Yeah. All right. We're good.
So somehow it's always my fault.
No, but you were sitting there mouthing. I didn't know if I could hear you or not. You over there playing games.
But anyways, Josh is here. Preston will be joining us shortly. He's got some other business to take care of, but he will be joining shortly. Bryson's here with us tonight by my side. I guess he's going to try to do the podcast from here this year a little bit. But Bryson, how was your week? I know we went through the schedule last week, not looking too high on Florida, but how was your week?
Good week. Since Josh is here, can I please hear it in person? Roll motherfucking Tide one time.
Roll motherfucking Tide.
That's what I'm talking about. So that right there shows you college football's coming back. I cannot wait. 2 weeks away.
Roll motherfucking Tide.
It's Christmas in the summertime. That's all I gotta say. Great week. It's been hot. Chris, how's your week been?
My week was great. Got to see some NFL preseason. We're watching it now. It's 3-2, Eagles over the Browns. What a game!
Philadelphia Dogs.
Yeah. Got to watch the preseason football. Looking forward to college. That'll be, more interesting once the preseason's over. We get the college season going and NFL going. We did our NFL podcast. If you haven't listened to it, check it out. We're going to be doing, I guess, either one next week, the week after. Bryson's on there, even though he don't know a lick about NFL. But yeah, we're going as it goes. Clay will be on there some. He said he's going to do it some. But anyways, Josh, last week we did our we went over the schedule a little bit. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it at all. I know you've been busy, but Josh, just give us your overall thoughts on Alabama going into this year.
Well, it's a question mark at quarterback right now, which Georgia's dealing with that. There's a few teams in the SEC dealing with that. Auburn's dealing with that. So really don't know who the starting quarterback is. And I just read an article that said Alabama don't need no stinking quarterback, and it referred back like Ken Dorsey for Miami was 32-2 as a starting quarterback, but you don't like he really wasn't a great quarterback. You just need an okay quarterback, and you can win. Nick Saban's proven that. So I mean, I'm hoping it's Jalen Milroe because I like what he can do with his legs. He can just hold on to the ball. I think he, has a little bit more experience than the other guys, Ty Simpson or Eli Holstein. So, I mean, I'm just anxious to see what the quarterback situation is going to be, but they're going to have to figure it out fast because Texas comes into town week 2, and that'll be a night game. And so they should have it figured out by the end of that Texas.
Who is Kool-Aid?
Kool-Aid McKinstry, defensive back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's top-notch defensive back. I'm not worried about defense too much. They brought back a familiar face for the defensive coordinator position in Kevin Steele. He coached that same position over at Auburn, or he might have been defensive line coach at Auburn. But he's been with Nick Saban before. He knows what kind of program Nick Saban runs and what he expects from his coordinators. So I expect Alabama's defense to go back to hard-nosed defense and probably be a lot of running. Alabama's real deep in running back room. So I really don't know who's going to be the star wide receiver. There's a couple of potential guys, but we got to get the ball to him. But like I said, week 2, Texas is going to tell us something because Texas knows who their quarterback is. And so we'll see about that. But what's favorable for Alabama's schedule is that they got Texas, Tennessee, and LSU all at home. And Alabama doesn't lose at home very often. The game that I am worried about is at Texas A&M. And it's a little stretch right there. Ole Miss, at home, and then travel to Mississippi State and at Texas A&M, and then come back home against Arkansas. I think Alabama will be up for Tennessee and LSU and Bryant-Denny Stadium. But another game that is really intriguing is at Kentucky. How good is Kentucky going to be? You know, didn't they get Devin Leary as their quarterback? So you know he's got some experience behind center. So we'll just see what's that going to be. And then at Auburn, it's always an issue when you play at Auburn.
You can't lose to Auburn now. I know it's the Iron Bowl, but you can't lose to Auburn nowadays. Come on now.
So Josh, got a question for y'all. If y'all beat Tennessee this year, are y'all going to tear down the goalpost this year? I mean,
No, man. What? No. They'll never tear down the goalpost, man.
Any prediction on the record this year? I mean, do you have a prediction? Any? Yeah, I mean, I know you're hoping they win the national championship, obviously, but
I think they have the potential to make the playoffs. You know, Nick, anytime we've gone a couple of years without winning it, we end up winning it the next year. And the AP poll came out, and I know this really doesn't mean much, but it's the lowest Alabama's been in the preseason AP poll since 2009. And they were ranked 5th in that AP poll in 2009, and they won it all that year. So it really just stands out on, you know, how dominant they've been over the years. And it looks like it's Georgia's time now, but Alabama's not going to go down in that fight. You know what I mean? So, and then, you know, with the conference expansion next year with Texas and Oklahoma coming in, and teams are not going to be playing each other like they have. Like next year, Ole Miss is not on the schedule for Alabama, which is really weird. Alabama travels to Oklahoma next year. Georgia travels to Texas next year. So it's going to be
I was going to get your thoughts on that. I don't want to keep you talking, but all these, you know, teams moving. I mean, do you like that for the game for college football, or what's your thoughts on that?
No, I kind of wish it would have stayed the same. I think college football is going to get to where there's like 2 or 3 just major conferences of 20 plus teams, and it's going to maybe even end up with just 2, and it's going to be kind of like the AFC and NFC, and they'll have divisions, and they'll have playoffs and wild card, and it's going to – I think that's what it's leaning towards. You know, it wouldn't hurt my feelings now that the Big Ten has added some more of those West Coast teams. It wouldn't hurt my feelings if Clemson and Florida State and Miami joined the SEC, you know, just to make the SEC that much stronger. So, but with Alabama's record this year, I could see an 11-1 going into an SEC championship game, depending on, you know, what our quarterback play. If it can play okay and not turn the ball over a lot, I think we'll know.
You know, if he gets those turnovers, he's getting yanked. Whoever it is.
It don't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Guess what? You're gonna have a 5-star, you know, Heisman right behind him, so it don't matter. Alabama's got a machine. And
there's not a lot of talk, not a lot of hype around Alabama this year, and I think that could bode well. You know, not a lot of rat poison, so to speak, for Alabama right now, like there is over at Georgia, and the talk of a 3-peat. And I know this is off subject real quick, but Georgia's not the only thing going for a 3-peat. I'm going for a 3-peat in my money league in my fantasy football. I haven't said anything on the chat in my fantasy football thing because I don't want to be too egotistical. Yeah, I don't want to be too egotistical, but yeah, I'm going for a 3-peat this year. But I think that you know, Alabama 11-1, maybe a loss to Texas A&M or Kentucky.
Gotcha.
Going into the SEC.
Gotcha.
You triple bogey though.
yeah, that's about all he does. Triple bogey. Anyways, I think that's about it as far as you know. Is there any topics we didn't get to? I know we talked a little bit about the. Oh, there he is. There's Preston. Hold on, before we
let's get Preston in here. Clemson
just in time. Here he is, Preston. How you doing? Is your mic working there?
All
right. I know you rush back. I don't want to keep you rushing, but Preston, we just did pretty much the intros. Josh talk. What's up, buddy? How was your week, Preston?
It's been really good. Trying to get all the moving pieces together, but just another great week behind us.
Gotcha. We're going to get into the games here shortly. A couple topics I kind of put down just a little bit. Not much, but college football. I don't know if Josh ever played the NCAA football game, but it recently announced that the game's expected to come out in 2024, summer of 2024. But at the bottom it says the lawsuit and stuff going on. Do y'all think, Bryson, you start out? Do you think the game's really coming out?
I wish. It's been almost 10 years since a college football game came out. Excuse me. I wish I don't think it's going to happen with all the colleges and lawsuit, but I ain't going to get my hopes up. So,
any thoughts between y'all two? College football game 2024 coming out. I don't know how much you play anymore, Josh.
I haven't played in a long time. It's probably been the last game that came out was the last time I played in 2014. Yeah. So I still got that game, but the problem is I don't have a PlayStation 2, so I can't play it.
Yeah, I got rid of my PlayStation 3 too. I got the game, but I ain't got PS3. But that game sells for like $100 right now still. But
yeah, I'm just gonna hold on to it.
Preston, I know you played a game. Any thoughts? Do you think it's gonna come out on time, or do you expect?
Honestly, I haven't kept up with it too much. If it comes out, exciting. If it doesn't,
I think it's gonna play
it's been 10 years.
Yeah, I think it's gonna play too much like Madden. Madden came out.
Comes out tonight at 8.
Yeah, it comes out today, and I've heard it sucks. But yeah, anyway, let's keep it going. I didn't really have any other topics unless you guys want to talk about anything going on. Did you got any surprises I didn't get to see much of it, but any surprises in the preseason poll? Any teams surprise y'all?
Penn State, where were they at, 8 or 9? Penn State and Florida State being above LSU or being above Tennessee and I forget, Clemson. Being above Tennessee and Clemson was kind of confusing to me.
Gotcha.
Shout out to my boy Graham. Carolina should have made at least top 25. They came in at 27. You beat Clemson. You beat Tennessee in the Orange Bowl.
Last season.
You lost. But like I said,
yeah, but you can't time out.
Them.
No, you can't. Clemson should be above Carolina.
Oh, for sure. I'm not saying South Carolina should be top 5. I'm just saying.
No, they should definitely be top 25.
Top 25. They should crack 25, 24.
Yeah, no, Carolina should be right. Yeah, Carolina should be between 20 and 25, I think. I think they should be right. I agree with you. Yeah, and I think they'll get there. I think they'll be all right. Anyways, the only bad thing is they do play, I think, Georgia early. They always
third game of the season.
Yeah, so that's the only bad thing. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. I know Josh – excuse me. I know Josh didn't have all his game. What did Graham say? He said UNC at 21 and Carolina unranked. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I know both y'all been busy. Everybody might not be prepared with all our games, but me and Bryson we got our 10 games we're going to talk about. You guys can chime in, and if there's any other games you guys want to mention, just let us know. But yeah, we're going to get into our 10 games. Does anybody have a rant before we start that? I had one, but I can't remember. No rants this week. Anybody? Rant of the off season? No? All right. Here we go. All right, we're getting into the games here. We're going to start at number 10. We'll start with you, Bryce. Who you got at number 10 for your for the games of the year? Who you got at number 10?
Number 10. Give me LSU at Florida State. It's going to be a battle of quarterbacks. Jane Daniels, Jordan Travis. LSU had to step up this year on the O-line to protect Daniels. Last year he was sacked 4 times. So, I think it's going to be a good one. I hope it's like, 2013, I think it was like 74-72 that final score was. It'd be cool seeing a game like that, but I got that at number 10.
Gotcha. I'm going to go with my number 10 here. I'm going different here. They're opening up the season. People don't expect him to win this. He's got a lot of transfers. He's coming in as a new coach. Week 1, September. What did he say?
You taking my number 10 game?
Oh, okay. Week 1, September 2nd, Colorado at TCU. I'm excited to see what Colorado is going to do to open the season. Colorado's got a tough stretch of games to start the year. Colorado, there's a possibility Colorado could only win one game to start the year, 1 or 2 games.
And Deion Sanders only might have 1 foot, by the way.
But anyway, I'm just excited to see what Colorado's going to do. I'll be honest, I don't know much about. I don't know what TCU's going to do too much, but you should be excited about Colorado to see if they're actually going to be good or what they're going to do. I think. They do have some other games that could be on this list, but week 1's like, hey, what's this team actually going to do? How are they going to look to start out the season? That's why I'm excited for it. I don't know if either one of you guys had games, but do you guys want to? Any thoughts on our top 10 on our 10 games, and would you guys like to list a game? However y'all want to do it.
Yeah, I my number 10 game, because I don't have the whole schedule in front of me. I hadn't had a lot of time to look at everybody's schedule, but. Yeah, the Colorado game against TCU. That's in all reality, TCU should put them down. But we'll see what Peg Leg and the Buffaloes and the Buffaloes can do. His name's no longer Neon Dion, and I feel sorry for him, but he's only be able to wear one Cowboy boot on the field.
Wow,
wait, so is he actually losing a foot?
There's rumor something about he's got some. I don't know. He
got some infection. He got some infection in his foot, man.
He also had blood or something too.
I know he doesn't have a couple toes.
Yeah. Well, they say it's a possibility he could lose his foot.
Yeah.
Coach Prom is a.
Jeez, yeah. Show that comment.
Jesus. All right, we'll leave that. All right. Did you see it? All right. Anyway.
Show it.
I did. I showed it.
Let me see. I didn't.
Anyway, Preston, I don't know. I know you've been busy, but did you? Any game you'd like to mention? Any game you could think of at top?
If I'm going to go number 10, if we're going 10-10 across the board, I'll find 10 games. I would say that North Carolina and South Carolina week 1 matchup is going to be pretty interesting. I think you got 2 offenses there that are going to probably trying to prove something and kind of show that they're not one-trick ponies there. I think South Carolina's got a lot of great players returning. I think they got a great quarterback, and I think North Carolina's got probably one of the top 5 best quarterbacks in the nation right now.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to go with my number 9 game. Graham, get excited here. I'm going – they won last year. They beat them. I'm going week 13. Preston, get excited too. Number 25, Clemson at South Carolina. This was a good game last year. South Carolina upset, what was it, 31-30? 31-30.
All I know is those Gamecocks won. That's all I know.
Yeah, South Carolina, some people expect them to be better. Some people think they're not going to be that good. I'm excited to see the game they're playing at South Carolina, see what happens here. I know it's towards the end of the season. I would like to see it earlier in the season. It's November 25th, but, I'm just excited for this game. I'm excited to see what Carolina's going to do this year and see if Clemson can – Maybe Clemson could come out and stop them this year. I'm hoping. Maybe that's what Preston thinks. I don't know what he thinks about this game, but it's a tough game for both teams. But Bryson,
Graham, coming right back at you. Give me South Carolina at Georgia. Third game for Georgia. The first big test. Georgia's losing all this defense. Are they going to be the same powerful defense they've been the past 2 years? Carson Beck's first real test. I'm pretty sure. I think Kirby said earlier this week he is going to be the starter. I think that's going to be his first test. But yeah, I think that's going to be a good game.
Josh, you have a game number 9. I'm sorry.
Yeah, give me week 2, Texas A&M at Miami. 3:30 kickoff. Yeah, we'll just see where both of these teams stand. Texas A&M kind of laid an egg last year. Let's see if they could turn it around quick. They had that highly touted recruiting class, and we'll see if they can put those guys to work now, the ones that hadn't transferred out, and we'll see what Miami's got.
Is Miami projected to be any good this year? Anybody? No?
I don't know.
I know they're always projected to be good, and they're always overrated. Preston, any thoughts? Any game or thoughts on our games?
Yeah, week 2, Texas at Alabama. I think that's going to be a pretty good matchup. I don't think Texas is going to stick with them quite like they did last year, but we'll see. It's going to be kind of a first test, I think, really for – I mean, last year you had Alabama go to Texas. This year you got Texas coming to Alabama. 7 o'clock, Tuscaloosa, Brian.
Night game, baby. It's a night game.
It's going to be a lot different. So, I mean, I know they've got some pretty big stadiums out there in the Big 12, but I don't think much compares to that out there in Tuscaloosa.
Roll motherfucking tide.
Gotcha. All right, Bryson, let's go back to you for number 8.
Number
What you got
8.
at number 8?
Preston, get loud, son. Here we go. Clemson going to Syracuse. I got that in my number 8. Always a great game. Clemson going on the road. I was looking at some stats last year for Syracuse. Have 42 sacks with minus 258 yards. Okay. Mark it down for a lock. First team all defense, Marlon Wax. He's going to be a big X factor for Syracuse this year, averaging 4.5 sacks last year. Mark him as first team defense.
Look at research over here. You used to do none.
Big orange,
now
son.
He's got his
Big
booklet.
orange.
You need to write your name on that damn thing booklet and make your own.
That's
Mr. Booklet this year.
That's a scary place to play in. Syracuse doesn't have air conditioning. They don't have air conditioning. I think Josh told us that last year. And some wacky stuff happens in that stadium. The way the lights, with it being inside a dome, the way those lights hit you sometimes. There's some weird things that happen there.
I was thinking about the game. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about Syracuse, but it's always a good game, like you said. Yeah, but I'm going with my number 8 here. I'm going to a game Bryson just mentioned. I mentioned them already. I put them at number 8. I'm going week 3, September 16th, South Carolina at Georgia, like Bryson said. 3:30 game. It's a big test for Georgia. And my bold prediction, I don't know. I'll say I don't know if we'll do bold predictions this year, but I don't know. I was like this last year. I'm concerned about Georgia. I'm predicting my bold prediction for the year is they're going to drop a game in the regular season. I don't know who it's going to be to, but I think it's going to be one of the games. I don't know. I'm not really sure. It might not be Carolina. I don't think it'll be Carolina, but I think they're going to drop a game in the regular season. I think it's going to be somebody who they're not supposed to lose to. I just got a feeling. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm totally wrong, but got a feeling that's going to happen. And I mean, South Carolina, what they finished last year, I had it written down. They won 8 games. Anyway,
Graham.
They were decent last year. Graham says Syracuse.
I bet they're 7-5. Were they not?
Is a Gamecock now. Syracuse best D lineman is a Gamecock now. He says so. Good call.
And I'll tell you, their defense is going to be good this year.
Anyway, but yeah. I think this is going to be a good game. Georgia's test. I know Josh is over there shaking his head. I don't think he thinks it's going to be a good game. I just got a feeling. I don't know. It's just more of a gut instinct. I'm just worried. I was worried last year. We won back to back. So what do you know? What do I know? Josh, go ahead and give your thoughts on that. Give your thoughts on both the games.
That game ain't a top 50 game, man. South Carolina gonna go in there and get there. They're gonna get de-spurred down there over there between the hedges. Georgia's potential slip-up games are at Auburn because it's going to be their first road game.
You keep mentioning Auburn. What's up with you? Is Auburn? I know they got the new coach. I mean, do you like Auburn this year?
I mean, you liked Tennessee last year. So
I never liked
Auburn.
I never liked Auburn.
I know you don't like them,
but I'm saying Georgia doesn't go on the road until they play Auburn.
Yeah, I got you.
At the end of they're at home for 4 or 5 straight weeks, and then they go on the road, play at Auburn, and then at the end of November or in the middle of November, they'll go to Tennessee. Those are the 2 games that Georgia has to worry about. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to be an intriguing game. South Carolina messed around and upset Georgia before, but and it's happened in Athens before, but I just don't see it happening this year. I'm going to give you my number 8 game, kind of off the radar a little bit, but give me Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. You know, that could potentially be a pretty good game.
Cincinnati's supposed to be good anymore. I mean, I know they were okay last year. They were good the year before, right? Preston's favorite team.
So that'll be my number 8 game.
Yeah. Anyway, Preston, who you got number 8?
I got Ohio State at Notre Dame. I think that's going to be a sneaky good game. You got a defense versus an offense there. I think if both of these teams want to make a playoff run, they're going to have to win games like this. And really, you know, both of them have pretty tough schedules. So I think this should be a really good game. 7:30 NBC. So that should be a pretty good one.
Yeah, I like all the night games. Josh, you mentioned about the home and road. I think Clemson hosts all their games. All their games are supposed to be one somewhat matchups. This kind of pisses me off, to be honest.
Hey, no. As a Georgia fan, you don't need to speak nothing about a schedule.
Oh, I agree. No, I just said I agree. I'm not wrong with you. Since he got Emory Floyd at QB this year, says Graham.
So yeah, Georgia's got plenty of time to figure out their quarterback issue or any other kind of issue. They got freaking. I guess they'll have to play South Carolina, but then they got another patsy. I don't know. I
agree. Georgia's schedules. Georgia's got.
It's not their fault they had to drop Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And,
Oklahoma
that was
sucks anyway. Hey, my bowl predictions were good last year too. I said Oklahoma would be outside the 25, and I was good. I was good on my bowl predictions last year. Anyway, hopefully I'm not good on them this year
But who would have thought that when they set that up? Who would have thought that Oklahoma would have fell off like that when they set that game up? I don't know. 5 years ago, you didn't think Oklahoma was going to fall off.
All right, I'm going to go to the next game here. I'm going number 7. My number 7. I'm going week 4.
Ow.
September 23rd. I'm going Florida State at Clemson. Time. I don't see a time on here.
7. It'll probably it's not listed, but it'll probably be a night game.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I like Jordan Travis. I like Florida State. I think Florida State's going to be pretty good this year. Good wide receiver, decent running back that's returning. Like Preston said, Clemson's got the new offensive coordinator. We're going to see what Clemson can do. I know I've already had Clemson in here, and I'm just excited. I think this is going to be a good game. Two good teams. I always like seeing. I'm excited to see. I got a lot of games. I could have put Florida State on here a few times, which I think I did once or twice. But I like Florida State. Want to see what they're going to do. I like Jordan Travis. What's the receiver they got? Wilson. Wilson, I like the receiver. He's projected. He's like one of the best receivers in college football. So I'm excited to see what that game's going to be. And, of course, Clemson's hosting it. So, yeah, let's keep it going. Ryson.
Yes, sir.
Who do you have at number 7?
Number 7, we went to Josh's house last year for this game. Texas going to Alabama. Like Preston said earlier, you're coming to a whole different ball game down here. SEC's just so different in my opinion.
Part of the SEC now.
Not next year.
I know.
The problem I see for Texas is, Benji Robinson leaving. Who they got there a running back. I was looking at the roster. I really didn't see anybody that could, fill his spot. But I think Alabama wins this game. I just like Quinn Ewers. Could he get revenge? Probably not, but give me Bama in this one.
So Ewers is going to be a starter. I know he got hurt last year, didn't he, in the game?
Yeah. So far, what I've been reading is Quinn's going to be the starter.
Gotcha. Josh, you got a number 7 game.
Give me Ole Miss at Georgia.
Any thoughts? You think this is a bigger test than Carolina? You think Ole Miss is decent?
Yeah, I think it's a bigger test than South Carolina. I know that the coaches know each other well. I know that Lane Kiffin's going to be pulling out some tricks. I know that Ole Miss has a returning quarterback, and they got a good running back.
I've heard some things about Ole Miss. I have, and this is one of the games. Like I said, one of the games I'm worried about for Georgia. I don't know where. I just feel like they're going to drop one. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but yeah. Anyway, Preston, do you have a number 7 game? Any thoughts on the number 7 game?
Yeah, I got Iowa at Penn State, week 4, 7:30 CBS game. There's a potential. I don't know what the rules are for the whiteout, but if there's going to be a whiteout at this point in the season, that seems like a great game. Preseason ranked, both teams are top 25. Iowa's typical, run it down your throat kind of deal. Strong offense and defensive line. You got Penn State. They're hyped up right now. Early on in the season, if both of those teams come in undefeated, that could be a raucous location there in Happy Valley, and that'd be a really good game to watch.
Yeah, and I saw this game and a couple other ones, but then I saw Iowa was in it, and I said, no, they can't be on my top 10. I can't put Iowa. I just can't put Iowa. I feel like their games are always like 2 to
averaging
it's like watching
8.2 points last year.
Yeah. I watch, but people like that.
If you like fullbacks and tight ends, and tight ends,
Yeah. Penn State will beat Iowa 7-4. Yeah, what a great game. Yeah. Well, all right. Anyway, let's keep it going. Everybody got it. Let's go to number 6, our 6th game here. Bryson, you give us your number 6.
Number 6, give me USC at Notre Dame. Another battle of the quarterbacks. I wish Hartman would have came to Florida, but he didn't. With Notre Dame, I know me and Chris, we hate Notre Dame. Just don't like them. I marked right here, it could be a huge impact for the playoffs. I know this is later down the season for them. I mean, they're both going undefeated into this game. It could be a playoff factor.
Gotcha. I'm going to keep it going here. I'm going, I think a game that was already mentioned. I'm really excited for this game. I could have put this game, higher up my board. I think these last 6 games are kind of interchangeable for me. All of them could be anywhere, I believe, because I'm excited for all of them. But Sunday, September 3rd, I believe it's right, 7:30, LSU at Florida State. No, I just mentioned Florida State. Great game last year. I believe Florida State won 24-23 on Monday night. If I'm not mistaken, it was a Monday night game, correct? Like both teams, LSU's getting a lot of hype going into the year. Florida State's also getting a lot of hype. I kind of want to see, which team's going to prevail. I mean, it's very exciting. Both these teams are, in my opinion, both these teams could be contenders for the playoff. I mean, who knows if LSU can. LSU's got a few tough games. So does Florida State. I mean, they don't have easy. They got some tough games on their schedule. That's what could keep them out. But getting these. I always say I'd rather lose early in the season than I would late in the season. So, but this is a big game, and I'm excited for it. Especially on, Sunday night. It's kind of the main game, and it's at 7:30. I love the night game. So, Josh, who you got at number 6?
Give me Florida at Utah, week 1. Let's see what if the SEC defense can travel out to Utah. It's going to be I think it's going to be a pretty good game.
Yeah, it was a good game last year. I know Bryson
should have lost that one last year.
Yeah, should have lost it. That was a night game too. Well, that was home. It was a Thursday or was a Saturday game. It was a Saturday night game, wasn't it? Or Thursday night. I don't know when it was, but that was a good game. I remember we watched that at Buddy's house. That was a hell of a game last year. Florida should have lost, but good pick.
That game is on Thursday.
Yeah, it is on Thursday this year. Yes, it'll be
31st.
So that's kind of weird. I don't think Florida's ever played a game on a Thursday.
I don't believe so. I think this is our first week game.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Them ACC schools play games on Thursdays.
Yeah, but it'll probably be the main game for a Thursday night, so that's kind of makes it more, exciting. Yeah. But Preston, you got a number 6?
Yeah, Saturday, December 9th, 3:00 on CBS, Navy Army. That's going to be one of my favorite games. It's always one of my favorite games every single year to get to watch that. The whole day dedicated to those people, the men and women that protect this country for 12 hours during the day. That's the greatest show on TV right there. There is no real losers. It's just a bunch of bragging rights at the end of the day.
Didn't Graham go to that game?
Graham did go to that game.
Yeah,
he said it was amazing.
Awesome experience. Well, you about to say something, Josh? Or?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I don't know
Games.
what you're doing there. Yeah. You have your folder up. What Graham said who's playing QB for Florida? Chris Leak.
No, rumor around town is Spurrier's gearing back up. So
gotcha. All right. Let's keep it going. I'll go with my number 5 here. I'm going to what Josh is wearing right there. I'm going the game. This game hadn't been mentioned. It was a good game last year, upset last year, high-scoring game. I'm going week 8, Saturday, October 21st, Tennessee at Alabama. Will this game be at 3:30 or when? Anybody know? Anybody?
I don't think it's determined yet.
Anyway, Tennessee got the wild upset, 52-49. It was a great game last year. That ugly knuckleball kick to win it. So what shouldn't happen, but I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what happens. You get to see Joe Milton and see what Alabama's going to do. I know it's later in the season, so both these teams will kind of maybe know more where they're at. But it's at Alabama. Alabama should look to beat the dog crap out of this team, and even if they do beat the dog crap out of them, they're still excited. Probably 3:30. That's what I was guessing. But, I'm hoping. I always like the night game. Says Coach Hayes.
Yeah, that's how you change your name. So, Coach Hayes.
How about changing the name for us? Oh, but yeah, I mean, like I said, any of these games can be interchangeable, but I'm really excited about seeing Alabama and Tennessee. Bryson, number 5.
Number 5. I don't think it's going to be a great game, but it's one of my favorite games. Florida Georgia game, biggest cocktail party in the United States. Love that game. I'm telling you, this is. I know we're struggling. It's called rebuilding. Florida fans, people are saying that we're going to win 10 games this year. I don't see it. I honestly do not see it. I must be missing something.
You must be looking on like the Florida fan page on Reddit or something.
No, I just keep hearing like this different sites. It's just I like it. Even if it's on their page, they're idiots. I mean, face it. Week 1, we're gonna start off with L. Just face it. But great game. We went to it last year. Great experience. You very good experience.
Ain't going to it this year.
Yeah, ain't going. Yeah. Woo. But yeah, great game. Hopefully it's a close game, but give it Florida, Georgia, number 5.
Josh, number 5. Who you got? And any thoughts on those 2 games?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Florida Georgia game at number 5. I mean, I've seen Florida upset Georgia. I've seen Georgia upset Florida when Florida was superior teams. Like I've seen it happen. So, that's always a big game. So yeah, that's quality for my number 5.
Gotcha. Preston, any game? What you got at number 5? Any thoughts on those games?
Yeah, Week 10, LSU at Alabama, undetermined time. I think that's going to be a great game. Those 2 teams, their programs are kind of both trending upwards. Obviously, Alabama's still there. LSU had a dip. They finished real strong last season. Got pummeled on the SEC championship game. Let's see if they can maintain some momentum and carry that into this year.
Yes, sir. Forrest says in the chat, talking about the Florida Georgia game, great tailgate.
Yes.
Too. You dang right. That was a good
You
time.
can check out our TikTok at C&BSports. We went around interviewing people. Great experience.
We want to go and do – so we had an idea. Me and Bryson had an idea. And we were going to start going if we had the money, if we could travel everywhere. Just start going to every tailgate in the Southeast and just
interview.
I think it'd be a good idea. I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be fun, but we'd have to probably get in tailgate somehow. It'd be complicated.
You'd have to get some sponsors. You'd have to get some sponsors.
Yeah,
to fund it.
That'd be a good idea, though. I think it'd be because last one was funny. What is going on here? They're wrestling on here.
Speaking of sponsors, if you're in the area, Moody's Tire Service, greatest tire service in Augusta, great prices. Check them out.
All right. Let's keep it going here. We're going to number 4. We're at number 4. I'm going to the game Preston just mentioned. I'm going Saturday, November 4th. I'm going LSU at Alabama. Last year, LSU won in overtime, 31-30. Always a good game. Well, I say that. I mean, I've seen it's where it's like 10-9 and, these low-scoring battles. But, everybody's like I said, everybody's high on LSU this year. Everybody don't know what Alabama's going to do at quarterback. It's late in the season. This game could mean a lot for both teams. It's going to mean a lot for both teams. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen there, to see it could be, possible to see who's going to be in the SEC championship game, representing the SEC West. Like LSU wanted that. LSU ended up in the SEC championship game last year. So, I'm just excited for that game. Everything pretty much I said and Preston said. But Bryson, number 4.
Number 4. We talked about it earlier, Clemson going to Carolina. I'm going to tell you something. Graham took me to Carolina and Texas A&M game last year. Place was absolutely rocking. Hopefully Carolina can pull it off again. I've never been so hyped last year besides Florida game with that game right there. So give me Clemson at South Carolina. It gets loud. I will tell you that right now. It gets loud.
Graham says still waiting on someone to drop North Dakota State and South Dakota State on their list. And, I'll go ahead and give you a spoiler alert. They're not on mine, but, we got to always looking forward to good teams. But, Josh, do you have a number 4?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Have y'all been writing my games down? Because I don't damn forgot. Have I even said the Texas Alabama game?
No, you have not.
Or have I said
we ain't right. This ain't we ain't keeping no records here, right? It's not like
I know, but I just don't want to say the same game over and over. So number 4, is that where we are? Number 4?
Yeah, number 4.
Give me Alabama at Auburn.
Alabama at Auburn. Josh, high on Auburn this year. I mean, it's always.
I'm not high on Auburn. I'm not high on Auburn.
I keep on seeing the foreshadows. Auburn this, Auburn that. Hey,
He's predicting in the future.
All boo-hoo is what it is. I hate Auburn.
Here comes-
I'm
is
just
this
letting
game?
you know.
Is this game at
Hold
Auburn?
on, hold on.
Be a good game.
I hear
Yes.
Chris Davis running it back. Hold on, time out. Here he goes. Here he goes
It
down
is
the
at
sideline.
Auburn.
It is at
It
Auburn.
is at Auburn.
Mark my words. They're going to tear down a goalpost if Alabama wins. Mark my words.
No, they're not.
Preston, do you have a number 4?
Yeah, I just secured my my tickets to this game. Week 4, Florida State at Clemson. I think that's going to be a heck of a game. That could be the first of 2 matchups between these schools since the ACC got rid of divisions. One big conference like the Big 12 and the SEC next year. The best schools playing the ACC championship game. This could be a very, really good game. Very, really good. Both teams are preseason top 10 ranked. You know, if for some reason LSU doesn't beat Florida State in week 1 and Florida State and Clemson go into this game undefeated, there's a high chance this could be a top 8, top 5 matchup in the country. Possible game day and possible playoff, background push to it.
Graham in the chat there talking.
What did he say?
Scam Newton.
Scam Newton talking about Auburn. And,
You know, with the Florida, stole the laptops. See you later. You know, scam Cam.
All right, let's keep it going here. I hate to mention all the games. I'm gonna put in some honorable mentions before we get to our number 1 in a little while. I got some honorable mentions that I didn't write down, but hate to keep bringing up the same games. But week 7, I'm going October 14th. I'm going USC at Notre Dame. I hate Notre Dame, and it's a night game. If you haven't done, me and my list, I love the night games. I'd rather see the night games than the afternoon games. I just like watching the night games. Who is it? Do you know this guy?
Yeah, that's shout out to Locke saying Carolina's going to go undefeated this year.
Bryson works in Carolina, so all
Easy.
Carolina fans.
Easy money.
I'm going to take
That's
the
what I
under
said.
on that.
Easy.
Hammer the under.
Easy money.
He said easy.
I'm going to go with USC at Notre Dame, 7:30. Notre Dame, I believe, won this game in 2021, but USC also they got the next Patrick Mahomes supposedly, and Caleb Williams supposedly anyway. I mean, Caleb Williams is good. Despite I think USC got a lot of. I think they lost a lot of people in transfer, but they picked up a lot of people in transfer as well. They got a lot of people that transferred to USC. I read a lot of new players on the defensive front, and the defense is expected to be a lot better this year. So I know Bryson, he hates USC. He says USC is always ranked too high. I had them ranked high last year. USC ought to be good. I mean, it all revolves around the quarterback. But quarterback, you got a good quarterback and good defense. I mean, you could compete, and I believe that. Yeah, I'm excited to see this game. At Notre Dame, I'm high. Notre Dame's got the new quarterback from Wake Forest, wherever he came from. Sam Hartman.
Wake Forest.
Yeah, Sam Hartman. Excited to see what Notre Dame's going to do. Hearing good things there too as well. So it's at Notre Dame. Just overall excited for this game. This game could be higher on my list, to be honest with you, higher than the other 2 games. But I have to be biased in the SEC. I'll go ahead and predict that. What did you say? Graham says Clemson will play UAB in the Gasparilla Bowl. Look at that face right there. He was so mad when you said that. He was so disappointed. All right, anyway, let's keep it going. Bryson, number 3.
Y'all gonna need a lot of $2 bills this year.
Number 3, Bryson.
Number 3. I'm gonna try to go this game. Florida at South Carolina. I think that's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a nail biter. I got much to say. I mean, there's 2 SEC teams going at it.
Speaking of great game, we got a 5-3 nail biter over here on preseason football. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, Florida at South Carolina. Like I said, that stadium's rocking. But yeah, I think that's going to be a great game. 2 SEC teams going at it. Spencer's probably going to throw for 7 touchdowns that game. But yeah, number 3, Florida at South Carolina.
Josh, you got number 3.
Yeah, number 3. I'm gonna stay with my team, and it's gonna be Alabama versus Tennessee. Tennessee at Alabama. Tennessee and LSU both beat Alabama last play of the game last year. So I look for Alabama to seek some revenge, and I really hope
yours should be like the three main games that like all three.
Hey, your top 10 should be your whole schedule.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alabama's schedule is not easy.
I'm sitting here looking at the schedule. We play Texas and then South Florida, and then it's straight Ole Miss, Mississippi State, A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee, LSU, at Kentucky, and Kentucky's not going to be a pushover. So, I mean, that's a whole stretch of games right there. But, yeah, I'm going to go with my number 3 is going to be freaking Rocky Flop coming to Tuscaloosa and flopping a damn – I just hope we beat the crap out of them.
I just feel like Alabama is going to win these close games early in the season. It's going to happen, but Nick Saban's going to start trying out these different quarterbacks. He's going to start yanking them, and then this Joe Blow is going to come out of nowhere, and he's going to be the best quarterback you've ever seen, and he's going to lead them to the national championship.
Rocky Top, you always be.
Anyway, Preston, number 3.
Rivalry game. I mean, I'm sticking with my team here. I think Clemson out South Carolina. I think that's going to be a great game. Obviously, they don't like each other. There's a lot of tension between them, and I know it's eating at Clemson fans just as it eats at me every single day when I wake up. And I'm like, oh damn, we did lose to them last year. Let me go to work.
Damn sure did.
Breaking news: we got another score in this game. 2:29 left. It is now 8-3. Cleveland over Philadelphia. 8-3. What a game we got going on here in the NFL preseason week 2. By 90.
Cox by 90. Love it.
Anyway, and Jason, your buddy, says
Florida. A good. I don't know. Give me a good 4-8 Florida. How about that?
Bryson, number 2.
Number 2. They really do a lot of research on it, but it's always a good game. Ohio State at Michigan.
Yep.
So it's always bloodbath, and they hate each other. I mean, like I said, Blake Corum's still there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I can see him
probably the best runner. I mean, he could be the best runner.
I can see him having a good game. The two teams that just absolutely hate each other. Gonna be another nail biter. Last year they won by Michigan won by 1. No, sorry, Ohio State won by 1.
It's always cool to see sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. It's always cool to see the fans' reactions in this games too. Like, they hate each other. But anyway, sorry.
But yeah, that's all I got to say is the number 2 Ohio State going to Michigan.
I'm going, I'm being biased here. I'm going week 12. Like I said, I'm worried. I don't know. Georgia's probably Georgia's toughest game. Maybe Georgia.
No, dude. You talking about Georgia and Georgia Tech?
No, hell no.
Oh,
I mean, could be. Hey, I'm serious. No, I ain't going Georgia. Hey, that is an exciting game. I'm always looking forward to that. Georgia at Tennessee. I'm going Georgia at Tennessee. They're facing Tennessee. They're going to Tennessee. Probably, Georgia's tough a test at the on the road. Could mean a lot. It's it's week 12 game. Like I said, it's biased. It's a biased pick. We'll get to see, what the teams are. One of the games I'm nervous about, I'll say. I have a list of games I'm nervous about for Georgia, and it's one of them. I know Georgia's got a weak schedule, but, it's not always good to have a weak schedule, I would say. And Georgia could blow them out, but it's at Tennessee. I mean, you have to think about it like this. Georgia is going for a three-peat. This is like, I know Josh is used to Alabama, but I don't know if Georgia's used to – and last year they were. They said they're the hunters, not the hunted, whatever they said. I don't think – and I love Georgia. I think I'm worried about them, all the teams going to be so motivated to play this team. You got a new quarterback, lost some pieces on defense, even though defense is probably still going to be really good. They still got Brock Bowers, McConkey, everybody on offense. I'm just worried, some of the new pieces, like I said, the new man under center and all that. I mean, to be a team that's won it back to back going into these tough games, I'm very worried about that. But yeah. Did you went number 2? Josh, number 2.
Give me Ohio State, Michigan, number 2.
Yeah.
Everything Bryson just said, man. It's going to decide. That's going to be whoever wins that game is going to be the winner of the Big Ten and probably be a shoe-in into the playoffs.
Preston, number 2.
I got Notre Dame at Clemson week 10, I think.
Yeah, that was on my list, wasn't it? Yeah. No, did I not have that game on my list? I'm about to lose my mind. Maybe I didn't know. I know why I didn't have it. I remember why. Go ahead. Anything else? Any thoughts on that game? I mean, Is that a late game in the season?
It's not determined yet.
Gotcha. All right, before we get into our last game, number one, I had some honorable mentions here. I believe that was one of them. Just some honorable, if I can get to the page here. Honorable mentions. I had Colorado at Oregon. I know we're all excited to see Colorado early in the season. They got week 4 at Oregon. Oregon's probably going to blow them out, but, who knows? Who knows with Oregon? Isn't Georgia playing high school? Yeah, I agree. It's Carolina, but I know Georgia's got an easy schedule. But I'm just telling you, it's a gut feeling. I just don't like being the team that's coming. I mean, everybody's going to be motivated, especially you got teams that are. What the hell's going on in the background here? Somebody's TV. All right, thank you. Anyway. Everybody, even these teams that are no good. I mean, they're coming to play Georgia. Teams that that are not that good. They're still fighting. Their main goal. They're not worried about winning the national championship. They're worried about coming to beat the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm telling you. I can calm down, but I'm just telling you.
Like Missouri last year.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you right now, Georgia. And I don't.
Oh, no biter.
Georgia could come out and dominate every game, but I just think they're going to be in some dogfights this year, or they're going to dominate some games, and they're going to have that one game that they're going to slip up on. I'm just worried, man. I'm just worried. But yeah, Colorado at Oregon. I had Ohio State at Notre Dame, 7:30 game. I love the night games. Cincinnati at BYU. I love the Cougars. I love BYU. It's one of them 10-15 games too. When you ain't got nothing on TV and it's 10-15 at night. And that's probably the best game you're going to see at 10-15. I'm telling you right now, that's probably one of the best games you're going to see at 10-15. So I'm excited for that game. Arkansas at Florida. Bryson, that's a big game for Bryson and them. This was going to be fight for my number 10. Notre Dame at Clemson, Ohio State at Michigan. Those were some of the games I had. Kentucky at South Carolina. Some other ones too. Nebraska at Colorado again. I didn't want to put Colorado in there, but I'm excited to see what Colorado is going to do. But yeah. Number one, I'll go to number one here. I'm going to the night game. Game we've already mentioned a bunch. Game we watched last year. I'm excited to see Texas and Alabama, even though Alabama. I think this was number one last year. Even though Alabama's probably going to roll them, but it's going to be a great game. I'm excited to see it at night. Like I said, night game. I always like the night games. Ewers got injured last year. Maybe if you don't get injured, Texas comes in and Texas beats them. You never know. Bryce Young, game-winning drive last year. I'm just excited to see what happens, see what teams, and especially what if Alabama is somehow they really struggle on offense. You don't know. You'll see, and they're getting used to a new quarterback early in the year. I like how this game's early in the year, so I think it's gonna be another good one. Bryson, number one.
Y'all thought I wasn't going to say anything. I ain't going number one yet. Honorable mentions. Appalachia State, North Carolina, upset right there.
Wasn't that an upset last year?
No, they lost by 1, but this year they are getting it done. Granted, they lost Chase Bryce. Still a great team. They're quick on defense. Give me Appalachia State and give me another huge upset. Week 3, shout out to the Eagles, Georgia Southern over Wisconsin. They're going to Wisconsin. Give me the Eagles. My number one. We're going Georgia at Tennessee. If Joe Milton wants to beat Georgia, you got to beat Georgia in the secondary. That's the only way you're going to beat Georgia on defense. That's all I got to say, folks.
Josh, any thoughts in number one?
Yeah, my number one game is going to be LSU at Alabama. That game will determine the West, I believe, and Alabama could already have one loss headed into that game. And so it's going to be a real important game. There's not much blood there between Alabama and LSU. It's kind of turned into a rivalry over the years because of the Nick Saban connection. Nick Saban recruits really well in the state of Louisiana. It's big for recruiting to beat LSU. I'm really not a fan of Brian Kelly. I think he's a smug little punk. And I hope Alabama seeks revenge from last year, from the last second, from the overtime last play win that kept Alabama from going to the SEC championship game.
We need to post an over-under line how many times Josh changes his jersey that game or changes his clothes or whatever, because I know he's.
I want the over underline on Auburn. Just a word of Auburn.
Hey, I'm gonna have a new baby, and I'll change her clothes.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'll send some Florida stuff your way.
Yeah. What? Panama City, Florida shirt.
Preston, you have a number 1.
Yeah, y'all put it as y'all's number 2's game. I'm going to go Ohio State and Michigan. I think that's always a great game. It's always one that I look forward to very strongly. That could mean so much. Both of those teams could make the playoffs. I mean, those teams, if they're undefeated, who's to say they don't make the playoffs and play each other in the national championship game. So it means a lot to those teams.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, great list. Any other honorable mentions we didn't miss?
I'm going to say another one. I hate to say it again, but Marshall going to Appalachian State. Another great game under the radar.
Anybody else?
App State Mountaineers.
Damn right, son.
The damn Mountain Men. So y'all gonna give me your preseason Final Four?
Preseason Final Four?
Yeah, like just throw it out there. Way too early Final Four playoff prediction.
This is like what we're thinking at the end of the season, or what our preseason like standing right now.
No. What you think's gonna be at the end of the season?
God,
1 through 4.
Anybody want to go first? I'm thinking for a minute.
I'll go first. I got number 1, the reigning back-to-back national champions, Georgia Bulldogs. Number 2, Michigan. Number 3, Alabama. Number 4, Ohio State. A Big Ten SEC national championship playoffs.
Yeah, I'll agree with some of that. I was going to say number 4. I was going to put Michigan. I'm going to have USC in there at number 2 or 3. I'd say USC. I'm going to put USC in there. I know I said Georgia's going to lose, so Georgia probably have to be 2. I'm going to put Georgia in there. Georgia will be in there. So Georgia, Michigan, USC, number 1. I don't know. There's no order, but I'll put Alabama in there as well. But I'm gonna say Alabama, Michigan, and USC. I mean Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, and USC. Sorry. Anybody?
What you got?
Any thoughts?
Number 4, give me Bama. Number 2, I'm sorry, 4 Bama, 3 Michigan, 2 USC, 1 Georgia. Clemson 12.
Well, we didn't ask for that.
Yeah, we didn't ask for that. That was just wrong. That was just wrong. Go ahead, Preston.
All right, I got 1 Georgia, 2 Ohio State, 3 USC, and 4 I'll probably either put LSU or Alabama there, and unranked probably 57th Florida.
You're right about
57.
that one. You can lock that one in. Lock that one in.
Lock of the week. Lock of the
Lock
year.
of the week. Lock of the year. Lock of the next 2 years. Put Florida at 57.
I wanted to take Alabama or one of the teams out and put Florida State or somebody in there, but I just couldn't do it. Alabama does have a tough schedule. I'm worried about scheduling. But Florida State, they got some tough games on there too. So we'll see. I think those 4 teams, but I feel good about the other 3. I feel good about Georgia, Michigan. And,
I think LSU's going to knock Florida State right out of there, right out the gate. LSU going to beat Florida State.
Yeah, but you lose that first game. That don't mean jack shit. If they come out and win every other game, that don't mean nothing.
LSU lost the first game last year, and they could have. There was a chance if they beat Georgia SEC, they go there in the playoffs.
Yeah, they would have been in the playoffs. But listen, but if Florida State loses to LSU, and then it comes down to the end of the year, and LSU's there with 1 loss, and Florida State's there with 1 loss, they got the head-to-head. I mean, it eventually coming up within the next couple of years, you're going to be able to lose a couple, maybe 1 or 2 regular season games.
Yeah.
But right now, this
when
final
is that
year,
anyway?
That's next year. They start with the 12-team playoffs.
Oh,
so
that's gonna be interesting.
So you can afford that, but this year with the final year of the 4, it's not going to be very affordable to lose any
What are you
games.
laughing at?
12 teams. Clemson come out 12. They can still have a shot. Next year.
How many playoffs have y'all made?
None.
Okay, then.
Yeah, that 12 team's still going to be tough for Florida, though.
Oh no, it's going to be years.
Clemson
years.
will be in it. Clemson should be in it, depending on if they move to the SEC or not.
Yeah, honestly, I would like to see Clemson move to SEC. Like, I don't understand why Clemson and Florida State just won't move to
I
the
tell you
SEC.
what, if Clemson
Because
wasn't-
it's like $100 million.
if Clemson beats one of those games between Florida State and Notre Dame, I'd probably have Clemson in my top 4, but we'll see.
Yeah, if we go 11-1, and they win the SEC, and I mean,
Just because I don't know about that. I just feel like everybody's got a lot of
Come on
tough
over.
games, but
if they go 12-1, I have confidence that they can make the playoffs if they've beaten Florida State, Notre Dame, South Carolina, and they've taken care of their conference. Had to play Florida State probably twice. I think there's a good chance, but there's so much right now, and our schedule's not terribly hard. But
Oh, Forrest. Coach Hayes, how many BCS championships has Clemson won?
no BCS, I can tell you that's the
Oh, man.
all right, well, let's get out of here. I appreciate everybody joining. Hopefully, we'll try to be back next week with something. Is week 0 next week? If we film this, will that be next week?
There's some games coming up this no, not next Saturday.
Next Saturday. So we might do a week 0 sometime.
Honorable mention of a game. Navy playing Notre Dame in Dublin. If Navy can pull off the upset in Dublin of the Fighting Irish in Ireland, that would just be hilarious to me. Dude, that would make my whole season. That would make my whole season.
Lose every game.
I hope that triple option eats Notre Dame up.
I don't even know who to root for. Clemson, Notre Dame. I'm probably rooting for Clemson.
Thank you, Graham. We appreciate it.
All right. Well, yeah, appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you check out the NFL show as well. We'll be doing that sometime next week. Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Shout out to Forrest, Coach Hayes, Spotify, and YouTube. And also, I'll be posting on my it's called Armchair Sports. Check it out. I'll be writing some posts on there and posting this on there as well. So please check it out. And yeah.
And if you like golf, check out Mulligan's Unlimited. It's our golfing channel we also do. If you like golf, I suck. We all suck. It's great content. We appreciate y'all like, subscribe there too.
Appreciate you watching. We'll be back next week. Peace.
Roll motherfucking Tide.
Josh, please. I don't know how much that painting costs behind you, but I need to see a black Nike check mark.
All right, boys, we're off. Whoever's in the chat, we're gone. Appreciate it.
Apple Podcasts.